What's up with it, everybody? Hope everybody's feeling good. Everybody's feeling great. Want to stay consistent. I enjoyed talking to the people yesterday, so we're back again. I got a little message I want to share with you. It's been on my mind today. Uh, Lord, this. It's been on my mind today. Something I want to talk about. You know what I'm saying? Was working out today, and something just hit me. You know what I'm saying? Um, I thought to myself, I ain't gonna cancel it. But I thought to myself while I was working out and training, I said, you know why nobody's happy, Vaughn? Because you know why no one's happy with your elevation, Vaughn, and no one's no one is I'm not gonna say no one, why the majority of people aren't supportive of your evolution. They aren't supportive of you overcoming your struggles. It's what I asked myself. I was like, Vaughn, do you know why people aren't supportive of your evolution? Why people aren't supportive of you improving your flaws? Why a lot of people aren't supportive of you getting better, you maturing, you learning how to fix the mistakes that were hindering you? Vaughn, do you know why people want to see you be who you used to be and make the mistakes you used to make and present the immature character? I asked myself this question while I was working out today. And the only answer I could come up with was people want not only just myself, but people want you as well to remain the person you used to be. You know, the person that I used to be, immature, had a lot of issues mentally, had issues with integrity and issues with honesty, issues with being dependable, issues with gambling, porn addiction, bad money habits, issues with just not knowing how to communicate with people. That is how a lot of people know me. And I used to be so confused because I didn't understand, like, why are people more supportive of me elevating and becoming better? You'd think that people would be supportive of that. They'd be like, you know what, Vaughn's starting to get better. He's showing improvements. Um, that's how I thought they would receive it, but I'm starting to see that a lot of people aren't able to accept who I'm becoming and accept the improvements I'm making because they desperately want me to be the Vaughn that they know me as. The Vaughn that's immature, the Vaughn that shows up late, the Vaughn that you can't depend on, the Vaughn that comes in and makes a fool of himself so that everybody can laugh at, the Vaughn that comes in underdressed, not knowing um, how to interact with people, coming in being loud and being disruptive, the Vaughn that makes mistakes, the Vaughn that has the mental issues and that does something so that everybody can laugh at. That's the person that people want me to remain as, because it doesn't make sense um, for people, especially all the people that I've known in my life, to not be more supportive, especially when you've gone through what I've gone through and you've had to deal with what I've dealt with, and you presented the type of behavior I have presented. Um, if I saw a person like myself, um, I would be very happy to see that person making the strides that I've made. But as I thought about the question that I asked myself, I began to realize, like, Vaughn, people are more comfortable with the version you used to be because that version didn't have much potential of achieving anything. That person they could control, they could manipulate. That person wouldn't be able to exhibit the necessary qualities to improve his life. That person wouldn't be able to exhibit the qualities that it takes to create generational wealth. And I had to realize that people want to see you broke down and messed up. And I know a lot of people are like, man, you always talking this, talking that. You know, I'm starting to learn that's just the way the world is. That's why I used to always talk about it because I didn't understand how I'm not going to say evil. I'm going to say I didn't know how it would be so difficult for people to be positive and supportive. We're going to stay positive. I didn't know that'd be so difficult for people. And a lot of the characteristics we um, present are characteristics we learn because there's so much evil and hate around. I was around so much evil and hate. I took on that characteristics. I was around so many messy people, so I became messy, and I would be talking about people behind their backs. I would be happy to see people miserable because that is the type of energy that is around. And if you're not careful, that energy can consume you and you can become
Select
that.
OURNAL.
So today, I wrote a journal. I started this journal. I'm going to start doing a journal on my podcast. And it just led me to talk about it because I'm pretty sure that I'm not the only one that's going through people not, people having difficulties with people not wanting to let go of the person that they used to be. People don't want to let go of the person that may have been a drug addict or if whatever struggles you were dealing with may have slept around a lot. People want to keep you in that person. People have a lot of struggles. People dealing with drugs. Some people have been promiscuous and having multiple partners, and you know how that can go. People dealing with issues of all type of issues. But I'm starting to see that whatever your issues are and whatever your struggles are, and whenever you were at your lowest, that is where people want you to stay. They don't want to see you improve. And it's unfortunate, but I want to bring light to it because a lot of people don't realize that. A lot of people like myself, are going through struggles and they're trying to overcome the struggles and they can't even see that people are getting entertainment out of you going through your struggles. People are finding strength in your misery. And it's hard to see that when you're going through it in real time. So I wanted to make this live to kind of expose it and just alert people to the fact that a lot of people are going to want to see you grow beyond your deficiencies. A lot of people aren't going to want to see you improve because if you improve enough, you could surpass them. And when a person like myself, who's dealt with a lot of struggles like I've had to deal with, and how bad people have talked about me, called me crazy, called me all type of things. If I surpass them, far as like just in life, far as like creating my own brand, far as like talking to you people, talking to the people, far as just like learning new information. If I surpass them, that's gonna make them look so bad. So they have to do everything. They have to fight tooth and nail to keep everyone influenced and everyone in the mind frame of seeing me as the person I used to be. And that's what's going to happen to you too. Um, and I've gone through this a lot, and it's not easy to overcome. Sometimes people can have this influence and they can keep the person alive who you used to be. They can keep that person alive, and it can consume you, and you could go back and you could revert back to being that person just because you don't understand that that's where people want you to be. And energy is something that's very powerful. Energy is transferable. A lot of times, if we're not careful and cautious, we will take on the energy of the people who are closest to us or nearest. A lot of times you have people, oh, everything's all right, I'm happy. But like, you don't feel good. Like, for some reason, you feel like it's something wrong with this person. That's because it is. The energy, you're feeling their energy. They're saying one thing, but their energy is telling you another. And when you're trying to elevate and become a better version of yourself and you go around certain people, you can feel that energy. You can feel that energy of them wanting you to remain the person you used to be. And that energy, if you're not careful, it can cause you to go back to being that person. I don't want to go back to the person that's addicted to porn, that had gambling issues. I don't want to be the person to go back that's immature, that's not dependable. I don't want to go back to the person that is representing himself in a negative manner. But the people in the world, they want that person to remain alive so bad. They want that person to be, they want Vaughn to go back to being addicted to porn. They want the Vaughn who's depressed and who comes online and not knowing how to represent himself in a professional manner. They want that so badly because if I elevate and I overcome and I become a better version, that's going to make them feel bad about themselves. So you cannot, I repeat, you cannot allow who you used to be to stop you from becoming the best version you can be. I'm going to repeat that. You cannot allow you cannot allow them to use the person you used to be to stop you from becoming the best person you can be. It's not going to be easy when you're trying to incorporate healthy habits. I'm not gonna eat no fried chicken. Oh no, I'm not gonna drink no alcohol. I'm not gonna go out. I'm gonna rest. I'm gonna drink me some water. You're gonna go around people. Oh, you ain't eating these wings good as I don't know what. You ain't eating no wings. You don't want no wings. Oh, we going to go turn up tonight, y'all. You gone on. You can't come out with the group. You all Debbie Downer talking about you ain't going out no more. You ain't drinking. We finna turn up. You take your butt on home with that. You're gonna deal with those subliminal slights. And if you're not careful, they can create anxiety, and that anxiety can cause you to get weak, and you can really falter to that weakness and allow that peer pressure to have you doing things that you don't want to do, can have you right back in the middle of doing habits that you want to eliminate. I'm just making this live because there's somebody out there that's trying to elevate. They're trying their best to improve their life. And they feel good about that, but they're being met with a lot of resistance. They're being met with no encouragement. They're not being given the pat on the back. They're being met with a lot of negativity. So I'm making this post to expose that and why that is. That's because people want to see you remain the less they want to see you remain the old version of yourself, the version of yourself, the lesser version of yourself. They don't want to see you elevate. Psychological, it's psychological warfare out here. The mind, people are going to attack the mind. People are going to attack the mind. We all have triggers. We all have weaknesses, and the enemy knows our triggers. The enemy knows our weaknesses. And we have to be very cautious, and we have to be very careful with our growth. We have to protect our growth. We have to be very cautious of who we share our growth with. We have to understand that people can see when you're growing. They can see when you're talking different. They can see when you're moving different. They can see when you're just, they can see it. So we have to be cautious of that, and a lot of time that's intimidating. You can see when someone's growing. I know that I'm growing. I'm not the same person that I used to be. I used to come online getting all emotional and letting people trick me into engaging into just negativity. I'm growing, and I know that other people see that I'm growing, but I also understand that growth is intimidating to some people. So I just wanted to speak to you because you could be going through the same thing. You could be going through the same thing. People want to keep you where they want to keep you in the same realm of the person you used to be. There's so many people right now, like, there are so many people that no matter what I do, they will not change their perception of who they view me to be. Those type of people, you have to leave them alone. Those type of people you have to stay away from. And you have to understand that they're going to do everything they can to try to influence everyone else to view you in that light. Now, that's a whole nother challenge to overcome, because a lot of people can influence people to see you the way that they see you. And the way that they see you, they can only see who you used to be, because that is the weakest version of yourself. So they can influence other people to see you in that lens, and people will treat you like that person you used to be. You just have to understand this, and you have to stay consistent. You cannot allow that energy to cause you to revert back to your old self and to incorporate or to pick back up those negative habits. It's not easy, but you have to understand, you have to protect your energy. You have to be very conscious and understand that when you're growing, it's very intimidating for people, and they're going to try to attack that, and they're usually going to try to attack you psychologically or mentally. They're going to try to make your mind weak. They're going to try to make you feel bad. They're not going to acknowledge it. They're not going to acknowledge your growth. And when we grow, it's exciting. It feels good when we grow. We want people to be happy for us, but they're not going to be happy for us. And it's okay once we understand this. It's okay. Like, they're not going to be happy for me, but I know that if I continue to just grow, people will begin to notice, because when we grow and people don't grow, they will begin to see the people's insecurities that want to keep us the same person who we used to be. But it just takes time, it takes consistency, and it takes an understanding that this world is just, it's how it is. A lot of people are going through a lot of struggles, and it's not easy to see, because on Instagram, a lot of people are able to fabricate lifestyles. They're able to create these productions and propaganda to make it look like something that's not. A lot of people are dealing with a lot of insecurities. A lot of people are finding happiness off of others' misery. A lot of people are unable to accept people who grow and who want to change. You have to stay away from those type of people. You have to realize that those type of people exist, and you have to move accordingly. That's what I was thinking about today when I worked out, and I'm like, that's why it's been so hard to grow. Because it's like, even with people in my family, it's like, why y'all not happy? Y'all still mad at me? Y'all still mad at me? I'm growing. I'm trying to be better. Y'all still mad about something that happened 2 years ago? That's because they're still stuck in the person I used to be, and that's the person that they'll only be able to see me as. So it's okay. On this journey of growth, we're gonna lose family members. We're gonna lose loved ones. We're going to lose a lot of people when we're on this growth, when we're on this path to growth. I'm not really going to answer too many questions today, John from DeWarren. I appreciate your question, but this live is more so for a message that I had on my heart. But I'll answer the question. How was it playing with being teammates with T-Mac? Like, a lot of you guys ask these questions about individuals, and I'm just gonna say that it was just like any other human being. He is who he is. We were teammates. But to get back on what we were talking about, don't let people use who you used to be to stop you from becoming the best version you can be. Don't let people use who you used to be stop you from becoming the best version you can be. That may be some of the best advice I can give you, because we all have room to grow, and with that growth, it comes a lot. So, people are going to tell stories that happened 3 years. You remember when Vaughn came in and he had everybody laughing? They looking for him. He round the corner chasing down the road or something. They're telling stories from 3 years ago. Today they're telling stories of stuff that happened 3 years ago. That's because they want everybody to see me through the lens of who I used to be. And you could be going through the same thing. People are going to tell people stories about things you did when you were young, when you didn't know what you know now, because that's where they want to keep you. Don't allow them to do that. Don't allow, like I said, don't allow, when you're growing, don't allow the lack of encouragement from people that you love, because that's what's going to hurt the most, is when you're growing and somebody you love is hitting you with that bad energy. Somebody you love is not encouraging you. Somebody you love is not happy for your growth. That's when it's going to affect you the most. And if you're not careful, it can really hinder you and stop your progression. So I'm just exposing it. And a lot of people aren't going to be happy about this, because there's nothing they can say, because they're still telling stories about what Von Wafer did 3 years ago. They're telling only the negatives. They're not coming on here telling you, Von seems like he's trying to get his life together. Von seems like he's learned a lot from his mistakes. He seems like he's really invested in trying to create something for himself, his own business. He's trying to create it from the ground up. They're not gonna tell people that stuff. They're gonna come on here. You see that dumbass show Von trying to do? The camera all crooked. He coming in. He ain't even got the lighting right. The audio all over the place. That's what they're gonna try to do. But you don't let that stop you. You just continue to try to grow, and just realize that people that do that, they just have insecurities they're dealing with, and don't let them put their insecurities on you. Continue to grow, Continue to be the best version of yourself possible, and understand that this is a marathon, not a sprint. You're going to be met with a lot. You're going to be met with a lot. So just take it in stride, continue to stay consistent, and I'm going to leave you with this. I think that's enough for today, you know. Stay positive, keep a positive mindset, and connect with positive people, and you will become the best version you can be. Stay away from negative people. Stay away from people that aren't doing the same things to elevate themselves. Stay away from people who are stuck in mediocrity. Stay away from people who aren't uplifting you and encouraging you and happy for your growth. Stay away from people that take slight jabs at you and try to encourage you to go drink or go out when you told them that you're trying to not do that. Stay away from people that are trying to get you to eat fried food, eating fried food in your face when you told them you're trying to go on a diet. Stay away from people when you come in the room, everything gets quiet and they looking at you like you're crazy. You know, you can come in the room and you feel anxiety. Stay away from people like that. Stay away from it and continue to implement good habits, continue to put positivity in the earth, and that's what you'll attract. You know, I wish you all the best. I wish the world wasn't like this. I wish that everyone could be happy for everyone and everyone encourage one another to improve, but that's just not the way it is. When you're growing, you're going to be met with a lot of resistance. You're going to be met with a lot of hate. You're going to be met with a lot of resentment. Oh, you think you better than everybody. Oh, you miss healthy now. Stay away from that type of energy. You got to stay away from it. And what's rough, sometimes it comes from people we love. That's psychological. That's a psychological tactic to get you to revert back to something you're trying to eliminate from your life. But I'm not going to continue to talk. I got a journal entry I'm about to drop that I'm looking to add to the channel. Hopefully you guys can tell me how you feel about it. It's basically talking about what I just talked to you about on this live. So check it out. And I appreciate you guys for who left the like, and thank you for who tuned in. Please share this, because a lot of people need to see this. It's a lot of people that are going through the difficulties right now. They're trying to grow. They're trying to improve themselves, but they're being met with all type of resistance from loved ones, from haters that they went to school with, just from a lot of people. So just share this and just realize that no matter what you do, some people are only going to be able to see the person that you used to be. And that's fine, that's okay. Eventually the right people will see the person you're becoming if you stay consistent. The universe will give us what we give it. If we give the universe positive energy, if we give the universe love, it will give that back to us. But if we give the universe resentment, jealousy, envy, and hate, it's what you're going to get back. So I'll just leave it at that. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all day. And be on the lookout for journal entry number 1. I'm about to get it loaded up and get it published. I appreciate you guys for your time. Peace and love, baby. We out.